Hi guys, welcome to Hope This Works. I'm Kevin, and I'm in the wood shop. Don't worry guys, I know you're probably excited to see what I have going on in the wood shop. This is the midweek vlog for Hope This Works. We are in the wood shop right now, but you're going to have to stick around till a little bit later in the video, and I'm going to show you stuff I've got going on down here. But first, we're going to go upstairs and see some gigantic pumpkins. Yeah, guys, that's right. Gigantic pumpkins. I actually didn't even plant pumpkins this year. These are my volunteer pumpkins that actually, they were my grocery store jack-o'-lanterns. I left them on the stoop over the winter time, and I ended up just kicking them down in the corner of the stoop by the house. Figured they just kind of decompose. And when I built my back to Eden bed with the railroad ties and the paper grocery sacks and the mulch I got from my neighbor, I just left the leftover pumpkins right there and says, oh heck, maybe I'll get some volunteers. And lo and behold, these things grew. They are actually gigantic. The base of the stalks are probably about the diameter of a golf ball. Next, we are going to pop over to the area, remember where I planted carrots and bunching onions. My bunching onions are doing real good, but my carrots, I only have two. I was starting to get some vegetation popping up in a pretty good line there, and I believe that my little bunny rabbit that's living under the woodpile has been eating the vegetation. So today we are going to replant some rainbow carrots. Even if the bunny eats the vegetation off those dudes, it's all right. He needs something to eat anyway. Even if we're not eating carrots and we don't harvest any, I'm totally okay with the bunny eating the vegetation. So that's what we're going to do right now. We do have two growing pretty good, but I can see some nibbles on the vegetation. I wouldn't be surprised if rabbits ate my carrot. The bunching onions are doing really good. I have some Velvet Queen sunflowers that I'm going to plant. They're already started or ready to transplant. We'll get those in the ground too. Next thing I'm going to do is plant my Velvet Queen sunflowers. I had a couple sunflowers getting eaten by the birds, but that's all right. I still have 8 or 10 plants there. So we'll plant these over by Billy Joe's Rose and see how good they do. My next task for the day is actually cut a couple of roses for Billy Joe. We don't have an actual vase, so I'm using an old olive jar. The fanciest thing I could come up with. I'm going to trim a couple of roses, stick them in the jar, fill it with some water. And one little tip for you folks that grow roses. My mother and my father told me never to water the roses and get the leaves wet, so water them at the base. What I've done is actually kind of mounded up some dirt around the rose to create kind of a bowl around the root ball, and I'll give it a fair dose of water, and it seems to be doing pretty good since transplanting. And we're back, folks. We are back downstairs. It has been hot, 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 hot. It's only 89 degrees today. It's actually a little cooler today than it was yesterday. Yesterday was 99. And our 10-day forecast is 80 plus. I know that might not be hot for some of you folks in the southern states, but boy, I tell you what, that's about my limit, 85, 90 degrees. We are building a couple boxes. These are my Japanese style angled side boxes with splines, and this particular one is getting purple heart corners. I glue this in, trim it off, glue the next one in, trim it off. That way I can save a little bit of material. I can work on other things at the same time, so it's not really slowing me down doing it this way. Here's another box with, this is actually zebra wood right here. So this is ready to get trimmed off. I'll take this chunk, move it around here, glue it, and go about my business. I have been working on a set, actually, it's a 3-pack of these recipe boxes. This is actually Billy Joe's recipe box that I made her for Christmas with recipe cards. This is made out of, well, some would say spalted maple, some would say ambrosia. I'm going to call it ambrosia. With this particular box, I chased the grain around here, so it looks like one continuous piece of wood with the grain going around. It's actually pretty, takes a little while to do this. I've done the same thing with these walnut boxes as I've chased the grain. Once the finish is applied to this, you'll really be able to see how the grain line matches up all the way around. I'm doing 3 of these. I have stock over here. I've also got one of my 12 by 18 cutting boards boxed up, ready to go. Here's some of that ambrosia or spalted maple here. You guys have seen the treasure chest. I made that video last week on making sawdust. And I've also got Collard Valley Cooks block, 16 by 16. This one is ready to go to the customer. I forget which state because I have a handful of these orders. I'll have to check. I think this one's going to Mary or Betty. I'm not really sure. It's going to one of you ladies, I'm sure. And I've just got a disaster, guys. I am busy. I've got to do some cleaning up. I did clean up a few days ago, and I've just got stuff. So here's some of that ambrosia maple, spalted maple, whatever you want to call it, for the recipe boxes. A chunk of zebra wood right there, which I got in from one of my favorite suppliers of hardwood, Bell Forest Products. Eric sent me a box of goodies, a freebie box of goodies. I'm actually going to make a video on those really soon. I received that with my last hardwood order. I think I bought cherry last time. So yeah, he threw in a box of goodies. So thanks for joining me down in the disaster area and outside to check out some of the vegetables and what we have going on out there. It has been hot. I've been trying to stay inside in the air conditioning and get some stuff done. I have a shower head I need to replace sometime this week. We have that mahogany cabinet to work on and get out of there. Treadmill I am going to repair. Yesterday I cooked a crock pot meal that I recorded, so that should be coming up pretty soon too. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for joining us always here at Hope This Works, channel about inspiration, education, motivation, creating curiosity, hanging out in the disaster area and seeing some woodshop projects, and building relationships. As always, Hope This Works.